Hi, Megan. And Shyra. Look at your malin. Do you know what that's called? That's called like so this thing right here,
Yeah.
this is called a malin.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so this is the malin that's like this silver streak in our witch's hair. I mean, if you think about it, it's like Bellatrix
Woo!
Lestrange. Hi everybody coming on. So yeah, so this is called a malin, and it's a lot of the powerful women have this streak, and sometimes it's been used for because people were afraid of the power of women, right? So we have this streak. That's the mal of the malin part. So there you have it. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Hi, Barbara. Hey, Elena. How are you? And how do we say? Kala Sky?
It's Kayla.
Kayla. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
It's totally okay. Everybody says Kayla. It's spelt wrong.
It's spelled wrong.
I didn't spell it, so.
Yeah, and I bet you had to do that. Well, my son is Sky, so but Jamie is also one of those names that can go any direction. So,
especially if you're dyslexic, then it's really hard to figure out.
Which you are, huh? Yes, yay! So we have people coming in, and super excited that anyone's here. Does anyone want to? Did anyone have a chance to do a bedtime ritual? We had a few homework assignments, so just checking in to see. Did anyone want to type in the chat if they did anything to help their bedtime routine? And I know my sister Megan and I, we stopped drinking. That helped me sleep better. So for the month of January, and I started oiling myself more self-care. Does anyone else have any? You made your phone bed. Shyra made a phone bed. Oh. Yeah, we one of my friends, Rhiannon, asked me if I would make her a phone bed, and I said, well, it's just a little thing from Michael's, but it's kind of nice. You started journaling. Oh, right. And to do your to-do list before bed. It's harder to start your to-do list once you've gone to bed. Although they wrap in your head, right? It starts running around in your head. Yeah, I feel like once I put it down, then it's the book's problem. It's no longer my issue. So let's see, what else have we have here? Anybody else? It did not go too well, huh, Leticia? You tried. Well, also drinking lemon water is another really good thing to do. So yeah, we wanted to check in. Did anybody look up go to Cafe Astrology and look up their moon, where their moon was at the time that they were born? Oiling after the shower is so nice. I know. I'm going to show you guys when it's my turn to talk again. I'm going to show you how to take these infused oils and for body care after you've been infusing it with the herbs for a little bit, what to do next. So that'll be kind of cool. But anyways, let's see. Drop your moon sign and house in here. Yes, Linda, we have cool. So, oh, you met, how neat. So yeah, if anyone doesn't have, I mean, I know we're all good at multitasking, so you can always pop into Cafe Astrology to look at typing in you just need to know the time you were born. You probably know where you were born, but not everyone always knows the exact time when we were born. But if you can pop that in, then you'd have a chance to see what moon sign and house you're in, where the moon was at the moment that you were born. And so when the Shyra talks about astrology, it adds an extra personalized benefit for yourself. So first I'm going to begin with a meditation. So if everybody, I wanted to show you actually a couple of crystals that I brought, because we talked that we would do crystals and herbs during the practical magic component. So I have two of my crystals that I brought here. These are this is rose quartz and this is black tourmaline. So these are going to be two of the crystals. So when I talk about these two crystals in the meditation, it is a huge black tourmaline. I've had it for a very, very long time. It's very heavy. It's, you can even see like there's even more crystals that are kind of growing in it. Yeah, it's a very cool piece. It's very strong. This, and this other side has other crystals kind of growing in it. There we go. People have got Capricorn, second house. Yay. Okay, so that's for Shyra to note. If anybody wants to keep adding into the chat where your astrology for your moon and the house that it was in, that'll be helpful. So, okay, so everybody, so one of the things I want to explain about crystals is sometimes, you know, herbs, it's a little bit easier. We take some lavender, we feel calm immediately. We drink some chamomile before we go to bed. We feel calm to go to sleep right away. Coffee, we know, is like exciting us. So we feel those immediate effects from the herbs, and it's not always as clear when we feel the crystals. Somehow it doesn't always translate in the same way. So one of the things that crystals do, crystals act like a magnifier to a certain degree of the energy that you're feeling. They hold their own energy, but all these components, all these little parts here, these are all ways that that this is reflecting magnetic energy, electromagnetic energy back to you. So this is the rose quartz. This is for self-love. And since we've been talking, you know, a lot lately, you're seeing everywhere self-care, self-care, self-care. Self-care is essentially self-love. When you're caring for yourself, when you're getting in and going to bed early, or drinking your water, or even monitoring the thoughts that go through your head, that's all part of your self-care, which is essentially underscoring your self-love and repeating and deepening your own self-love. Now, so that's what this stone is for, this crystal is for. And the tourmaline, you can see it's striated. See how it's kind of got these lines here, kind of shale-like. This stone, this crystal is for protection. This crystal will help you also ground, and part of that you can feel, because I mean, I can't even show you, it's so heavy. I mean, not that it really does much, I guess. Really, you can't really, sorry, can't tell. So, but this is going to be for grounding. This is going to be for protection. So I want you to imagine these stones, and the way that they're going to work is they're going to reflect that energy. They hold that energy, and then they reflect it back to you. So when you hold that energy of protection and security, this stone will reflect it back to you. Okay, so everybody let's take 3 deep breaths. Hello, Amanda, thank you for joining. I see you're just jumping in right now. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here, and we're going to begin to relax. If you want to, please mute yourself as you come on, just so that any of your background noise. Hello, Rocky. I just see you in there. So Elena, if you'll mute yours, please. Okay, perfect. All right, so everybody take a deep breath and let it out. And breathe it in and let it out. And breathe it in one more time. Now I want you to feel your sits bone. Feel where you are seated. Feel where you are rooted to the earth. Feel this energy, and imagine that this is your black tourmaline energy. This is that energy of that big black stone that is holding you to the earth, that is helping you feel that connection to the earth, that sense of belonging to the earth. This energy of groundedness, this energy of protection, this energy of safety and security. Imagine that as a warm feeling, a warm energy that begins at your sits bones, begins where you're seated, and moves down your legs, That warm energy is moving down your legs, down your knees, down to your calves, down to your ankles, And so that this whole lower part of your body is just almost melted into the earth, as if you are that stone itself. And from that energy, from this place, we can begin to feel the love and the power of the mother energy. We are all females here, and we're tapping into that mother energy, and that is the strong woman. We have a vice president for a woman for a vice president now. We are collectively growing stronger. We are recognizing that the power of the woman is the power of the creatrix. We have the ability to, we have a womb, we have a space to create from. This is that creative energy that helps us with our sense of belonging, because that which we put out into the world is purely a reflection of our unique, faceted experience of this world. So in other words, there was so many different facets to that crystal, and we look out of a different facet. We are all part of this same crystalline energy. We are all part of this same earth energy. We are all born from a mother. We are all born from a mother. That does not change no matter who you are. The mothers give the birth. The mothers are the ones that hold that creative energy. And that is what has made people afraid of us for so long, because we have this power, and we have often forgotten it. We have often forgotten that our power protects us. Our ability to create sustains us. Our ability to feel the joy and bring the love and make those connections to the world. We are the social architects as women. We are the social architects of the world. And it begins with feeling grounded, with feeling protected, with feeling that sense of belonging and safety. Now imagine that warm energy moving up. It's already caressing your legs. It's coming up to your torso. It's moving up to your belly. It's coming up to your heart. And in that heart is that pink rose quartz, is that pink light, that light energy of pink, of lightness of being. There have been so many things to create a heavy heart lately, and we need to focus on what is light, what is that part of us where we are free. We are a free spirit to love. We are able to love. Our love is so healing. And I want you to feel that for yourself. The love that you bring to the world is completely unique. Without your love, this world would be less. It would not be as powerful, as strong without your love. You don't even know how many people that you're touching just by entering a room, feeling that rose quartz emanating out. Imagine it. Imagine a pink rose unfolding in your heart. And with each petal is your breath, that it opens more and more, so that it fills this light energy of your chest all the way to your shoulders, down to your arms. And this light comes out of your fingers. This love, unconditional love that we all have the ability to tap into. And that every time we take care of ourselves, from going to bed early to drinking water to simply brushing our hair or oiling our skin, all these things that we do increase our self-love, because we are telling ourselves that we are worthy of the care. And we are all so worthy of the care. I want you to feel that love within your heart. Feel that rose quartz energy emanating from you. Feel that pale pink light filling your chest, coming through your arms, out the tips of your fingers, back up through your arms to your throat chakra, so that the things that you speak come from love. So that when you speak, when you tell someone, when you hold a boundary, when you speak up for what you want, when you share your feelings, that it all comes from this place of love. And imagine that filling your face with lightness, the smiles that you would have in a kid if you thought of a picture of yourself as a young person with the smile. When the smile reaches your eyes, you know that smile I'm talking about. Imagine that smile on your face right now. Imagine that lightness of being that comes from knowing that you are protected by something as sturdy as black tourmaline, and you are emanating the love of the rose quartz from your heart. So take 3 deep breaths in this place. 1. Breathe out all self-doubt. Breathe in self-love. Breathe out all criticism. Breathe in self-love. Breathe out all negative thoughts. And breathe in self-love. Imagine sparkling light all around you, protecting you in this space, while we now make some room for Shyra to share her wisdom about what's happening in the stars.
Hello, everybody. So this month, I'm actually going to add some moon readings at the end of my discussion of what's going on in the sky for February. But that'll come after. So just to dive in, on the 1st, we had Venus enter Aquarius. This means our perception of love, what we find attractive, kind of beauty to, is taking an unconventional approach. So we are seeing things as in a more detached manner, more like appreciating each other's individuality. How you might see this in your one-on-one relationships is you're either pushing for more independence, or maybe you're having much more ease in respecting each other's boundaries and who you are with partners. That'll be until February 25th. On the 25th, we will have Venus enter Pisces. What this means is we're going to move from the detached humanitarian Aquarius, like we just mentioned, to the forgiving, unconditional type of love Pisces. So this would be much more sacrificial. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, so this makes room for rose-tinted glasses when it comes to our partners. So be careful of being taken advantage of, but do know that you have the ability to really dive deep with your relationships with others after the 25th. Then on the 4th, we had the 3rd quarter moon in Scorpio. The 3rd quarter moon, how that works is, imagine the moon cycle is a mountain. 1st quarter, you're going up the mountain, full moon is the top, and then 3rd quarter is going down. So this would be a time to release, tie up any loose ends, and kind of let go, continue to let go what you took vision of on the full moon. Being that this 3rd quarter moon is in Scorpio, this was a really great time to delve into the depths of our unconscious, because Scorpio is known for taboo, such as processing deeper matters like death, sex, past traumas. You just have strength to do so, and also the goggles to see through the dark matter that we usually hide under the rug. Okay, cool. And then coming up, what we have on the 11th is the new moon. So the new moon is going to be in Aquarius. This is where we start at the very beginning of the mountain. We're starting our plan to climb to the top. Being that the new moon will be in innovative Aquarius, it would be really important to use intellect and strategy on what you want to do for the next month, and really tie this in with your community. Aquarius is the water bearer. They take all of the knowledge and disperse it to the community in their society. So whatever goals you have this month, I would definitely keep others in mind, as that's going to be where you'll find the most potential. When we talk about the moon readings, I'll kind of go over how this will affect your sign in particular, which is why it's so important you go on Cafe Astrology right now. And then just to touch on what time that'll start exactly at 11:08 a.m. again on the 11th, so only a couple more days. Then next, what we have is on the 18th at 2:44 a.m. We're finally entering Pisces season. I'm a Pisces, so I really love this season. What this means is our general aura and creativity, and really how we're feeling at this time of year, is more creative. So definitely join in on that. I'm reading the chat. There should be on Cafe Astrology, there should be a quick little chart generator, but Linda, I've done your chart before, so I'm pretty sure I have your moon. Just drop your birth info and I'll check for you real quick. So anyways, back to Pisces season. Pisces season, again, very artistic, more creative. We can really tune into the otherly world. So pay attention to dreams, matters where you can kind of feel your intuition. It doesn't make word sense, but it makes feeling sense. Okay, and then, so again, that starts at 2:44 a.m. on the 18th. So it seems a little earlier this year. And then on the 19th, we're gonna have that first quarter moon. So again, talking about going up the mountain, this is the actual journey towards the full moon. Being in Gemini, communication matters are gonna come up. This is what you say and how you say it is really what's gonna help you up that mountain. And this is gonna be, again, on the 19th at 10:49 a.m. So I would use this day to check in with your intentions that you set on the new moon, see what you can do further, because you still have time until the full moon to see that culmination, and use that Gemini energy, which is very adaptive, very able to multitask, things like that. Play games, they are the twins. They've got another set of hands. And then something I'm really excited about is that we have Mercury going direct on the 20th. So this week's pretty busy. We have the 18th, 19th, and 20th. So on the 20th, Mercury stations direct at 4:52 p.m. Some places it's going to be the 21st, depending on your time zone, but on the Pacific time zone, it's on the 20th at 4:52 p.m. So if you're not familiar, Mercury Direct just means we're finally able to intake information again. During Mercury Retrograde, where we are right now, communication matters are muddled. It's a little hard to see and make decisions. However, once it goes direct, we're finally able to decipher what we did wrong and how to either fix it or keep going with the flow. Okay, good, I see that. And then lastly, the only other placement I'm going to mention before diving into these moon readings is the full moon on the 27th. So wrapping up February, it's going to be kind of full circle. We have the full moon in Virgo. So for this full moon, we're going to be more organized, focusing on, okay, this is what I did. I'm proud of myself. However, how can I make it more perfect? And while full moons can be really great to release and relax, because of that Virgo energy, I would really take advantage of your vision for detail. They can really spot everything out that could be an area of opportunity. So on this full moon, I would recommend using herbs because it is an earth sign, or even incense, anything that can ground you with, the earthly realm. I'm sure Jamie can chime in on there too. But yeah, on the 27th at 12:19 a.m., if you're up at that time, be a really good time to focus on, okay, this is what I did for this month. What can I accomplish next? Okay, so now I'm gonna dive into these moon readings. First, I have Kayla, you posted that your moon is in the 4th house in Libra. So being that the the new moon will be in Aquarius, a fellow air sign, this will be a time that you can utilize to work on your relationships, especially one-on-ones. The 7th house is where Libra lives for you natally. Well, it's in your 4th house, but like the Libra lives in the 7th house normally. So what this means is relationships are going to be a highlighted focus that you can kind of hone that energy in on for new beginnings, new growth, kind of detaching yourself, we talked about for that new moon, stepping back and seeing, okay, is there enough balance, like Libra would say, but more on is this helping me in my community? With the 4th house, natally, I would say this could be a focus on like any roommates or people that are in your immediate family, like brothers, sisters, mother, father, but it could also just be people you live with. So focus on those one-on-one relationships. Next we have, is it Letitia? I hope it's Letitia. You have Capricorn in the 2nd house. So this means that Aquarius is hitting your 12th house. So pay attention more to your dreams. This would be more of a air kind of intellectualism. Your dreams will kind of hone in and focus on what could be your next step. If you don't already, I would recommend a dream journal. This might help with what you want to do next for the upcoming new moon. Being in the second house, natally, you do emotionally focus on money. So check out your relationship with that. Are you too dependent on your values for money? And how can you help materialistically with your community? Next, I don't know who PCH Wireless is, but you are Virgo in the second house, so I won't repeat second house matters, still money relationship with that, especially with your community. But Virgo for that new moon in Aquarius, actually you have the same moon as Jamie, so I can talk more on that. So this is an exemplified energy for you to let go of your routine. Because Aquarius is known to be a little chaotic, it can be hard for, organized Virgo to do so. But for you to start this new chapter, it would be recommended that you step outside of your comfort zone to possibly trade. And again, for you, second house matters would be your relationship to money, and how you, or even just material items and how that relates to your society or your community. Okay, and then Linda, I'll check yours out after I do these other ones just because I got to read yours on my phone. Okay, Barbara, I see you are Taurus. Is your moon Taurus?
I don't know.
So,
There was so much information that it was like, I think this is what it is. So you tell me.
so I see that it says, you said that your moon is in the 5th house, right?
Yes.
So near where it says the 5th house on Cafe Astrology, does it tell you a sign near the 5th house or in the 5th house?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, take your time.
I have to plug in my stuff again because I went back to give the link. So now I have to plug it in all over again. Sorry, get back to me later.
Okay, I'll get back to you. And then in that matter, I'm going to look up Linda's real quick just because. Okay, Feb 21, 1970. All right, 4:09 p.m. Sorry, I'm like blurting out your birth info here. All right, and that's in orange. All right, so we have, let me make sure. So your moon is in Sagittarius. Want to make sure. Okay, so Sagittarius in the 5th house. Sagittarius to Aquarius, they kind of are like the partner in crime together. So for you, the new moon would be a good time to explore freedom. Sagittarius is known for like their desire for freedom and no cuffs whatsoever. So look at your contributions to society, because while you do want freedom, you kind of have to uplift others around you in order to find your own inner freedom. Being it's in the 5th house, this would directly correlate with self-expression, creativity, and really how you present yourself to the world. Next, we have Virgo in the 7th house. So again, Virgo we talked about, which is exemplified energy to let go of routines to move on to possibly better ones. Aquarius is that chaotic energy, but being in the 7th house, this really hones in on your one-on-one relationships. So as opposed to this community routines, I would check out what routines you have set up in your one-on-one relationships. Maybe you have something that you need to change in how you communicate to your partner, or maybe you and your best friend have some kind of routine that just isn't working that well. So check that out. And then lastly, before I get back to Barbara, is we have Pisces in the 5th house from Amanda. So Pisces for Aquarius, this would make Aquarius in your, I think it would be in the 12th house too. So 12th house for Pisces for this Aquarius new moon, really checking in on your creativity. What can you do? How can you get your art back out into this world? Maybe you've been pushing off that book you've been wanting to write, or you just haven't picked up the pen and paper in a while. Try to hone in on like what you can do for the month on that. How can you creatively express yourself and show your work to everyone around you? Fifth house, yeah, that really sums it up too. More focus on self creation, self creativity, and self expression. So really, for the whole month, I would focus on your art and how you can get it out to the world. Okay, and then Barbara, I don't have any of your birth info. Can you just yell that out to me real quick?
Yeah, birth info is in like my birthday and time and place. So April 28, 1969, Princeton, West Virginia, 8 a.m. on a Monday.
West Virginia. And you said that was at 8 a.m.?
Yeah, the minutes might be off, but I remember thinking, oh, 8 a.m. I must have been really annoying to my mom having to get up that early.
Okay, I just want to let you know the house will probably be off. The time it really depends on the, or the house depends on the time. And you said April 20th, right?
28.
28th,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Okay, so then last one, your moon is in Virgo in the fifth house, presumptuously. So again, this is more focused on like, okay, you can let go of this routine, you can grow, and hopefully find a better one. Just learn how to adapt with the chaos and kind of going with the flow, which can be a little hard for a Virgo moon. I'm not going to focus on that house just because we don't know for sure. But if it is the fifth house, this would be self-creativity. Fifth house matters. You can also, once you get the time, look up the house to go back on what fifth house or what house your matters would be around. And that, oh, we do have one more. I don't think we have time because I do have to let our other lovely co-hosts speak. So just next time, make sure you have your birth info ready and we can go over that next month.
Megan, that's your cue.
I thought it was you. Okay, well, I'll just go. So today I'm going to be talking about the importance of having a creative outlet and the why behind it. So first off, having a creative outlet, it reduces anxiety, depression, and stress. It creates a dopamine, a natural depressant. It lowers your blood pressure and can help process trauma. So many people believe that there are just creative people and non-creative people. But as my favorite author, Brene Brown says, that there is no such thing as a non-creative person and that unused creativity metastasizes into resentment, grief, and heartbreak. She also states, Brene Brown, if you don't know her, she's also a shame researcher, found that 50% of adults stated that they were shamed as a child, with regard to their creative outlet. So many of them had this great creative outlet that they loved, and then they were shamed, and so then they either stopped singing or whatever their outlet was. So I want to we're just going to do a really small, brief meditation, guided meditation. So please close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, I want you to think back to a time in your childhood where you felt safe and at peace. It could be your backyard, your bedroom, your grandparents' house. Visualize yourself in this sacred space, creating or inventing something. It can be art, music, it could be building something, it could be a silly game that you made up with a friend or sibling. So I want to sit in this space for a minute. I want you to take a moment to be present in this moment, taking time to appreciate this creation or invention that you're making. Okay, now take 2 more deep breaths. And And then open your eyes. And then I would love for everybody, if they can, in the chat, to share what they were visualizing. So for myself, I was in my backyard and I was doing these little hot loops with a friend, and we were pretending that we had an amusement park and it was the rope at the amusement parks. I did it with my husband this morning, and he visualized working on his bikes as a kid, making them better. So I'd love if people would share.
While people are sharing, I'm going to talk about the one that I made up, Megan, that we were talking about the other day. So one of my favorite things was always to go to the park, Eisenhower Park. And for those of you who live in Orange, you'll know exactly where this is. And I used to name Crayola colors. I used to pretend that I got to name the colors. And so the sky was elephant blue, there was rocket house red, like, so it'd be like, if you were on that crayon, like that was me, that was my job. I'm that Virgo moon. So like the idea of like not being productive is like, what is that madness? So that's always what I love to do, is like, I got to be the person that got to name all the crayons.
Thank you. And thank you everybody for sharing. It's cute how so many of them are like grandparents. Oh. Or with their grandparents. Okay, so my challenge for you this month is for you to plan a play date with yourself every week for 1 hour. If you were somebody that was shamed as a child, I would love for you to revisit that creative outlet. Or I'd love for you to have the courage to try something that you've wanted to do. Maybe it's like taking a guitar lesson or a dance lesson. I know it's hard with COVID, but I also know that there's ways around all that stuff. But kind of go out of your comfort zone. And then I just like to share a short quote from Julia Cameron from The Artist's Way. So it goes like this: "The need to be a great artist makes it hard to be an artist. The need to produce a great work of art makes it hard to produce any art at all. Fear is what blocks an artist. The fear of not being good enough, the fear of not finishing, the fear of failure and of success, the fear of beginning at all." So for this month, as you plan your play date with yourself for 1 hour, I would really like you to let go of perfection and embrace the joy that creating brings to you. So, I would love for people to share what maybe take a moment, what you're going to try to do this month to get that creative outlet out. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then lastly, as we have said, I don't know if we've said this, but one of our intentions of this group is to really lift other women up, especially women that have their own businesses. So this month, I'd like to support and lift up my friend and local artist, Jessica Shy. I think she's on here. She's about to teach an art class right now. I don't know if she's here, but I know she had an art class like at 12 o'clock. So she is a local artist out of Orange County, and she sells art online, and she also teaches art classes for children and adults in person and online. So I will be posting all her information on our Instagram page, but please support her. I mean, that's just one of our big things, is just helping other women and lifting other women up. So thank you.
All right, now it's my turn. Thank you, Megan. So what what I can do is I've been working with herbs for quite a long time. And, you know, one of the reasons that, that we're doing this is so that I can learn how to introduce new things to people that with herbs and with magic, and also kind of playing off each other's ideas. So Megan's idea this month was all about creativity. And, you know, as for some of you know, I am a Wiccan author, and so making altars is one of the things that I do a lot, in addition to making medicine. And making an altar or creating a spell or anything like that is a prayer in 3D. You are playing. You are choosing. If you want prosperity, you get to choose what prosperity. It might be coins. To somebody else, it might be dollar bills. To someone else, it might be the color green. There's all kinds of different ways. And your play is your creative work. Your play is your magic. So some of the magic that I've been doing is making the oils. So last week or last month, I showed you, like, so this is infused oil. This is infused chamomile. So you can see the little chamomile at the top right there. So what I did was I put half of plant matter and then filled the oil on top. So chamomile, this is the benefits of chamomile oil, is it helps your digestive system, wound healing, including sores, anxiety relief, skin conditions like eczema or rashes, anti-inflammatory, and then of course sleep. So this is, once you've put, I wanted to show you how this works. So after, you know, I put the herbs in here and you let it, and then you cover it with oil and you let it sit for up to 6 weeks. Then you get another jar that's going to be a similar size to the jar that you have. And you put in a cheesecloth, and this is my cheesecloth, and it's a little funky because this morning I was doing the rose hips. See how reddish it is from the rose hips? So you put in your I'm not even sure what that's called. It's probably because I'm being nervous and I can't remember the name of it, but that's okay. So you put, I gotta do it again. So here's the jar, and then you put kind of the funnel. It's called a funnel. You put the funnel here. I got the name. And then you put the cheesecloth next, and you want to use something with natural fibers. So it looks like this. I'm going to kind of set the computer back a little bit just so I can show you. So this is set here. And then you'll take the infused, this is called an infusion, the infused herb. So it's been in this oil since, actually I put the date on it, it's been there since December 20th. So this is about 6 weeks. So now, okay, so then you just pour it in here. Just pour the goop, and it's gooping. Can I show you? See, it's gooping. See? What kind of oil? You can use all different kinds of, there's many different kinds of oils that you can use. This is grapeseed oil. You could use grapeseed oil, apricot kernel oil, avocado oil, coconut oil you can use, but as you notice, when it gets cold, it solidifies. So it's harder to infuse with coconut oil. Jojoba oil is a really great oil to use. But like I said, this one, okay, so here we go. So then we just keep pouring it in, get all the muck in, and then this part is the messy part, but I'm a messy girl, so I don't mind. So you pick it up like this and see how it's dripping. That's the herb is in here and the oil is dripping. You squeeze this part out, and this is the part where the herb has really been infused with the oil. So you squeeze this out. This is all the extra good stuff. So from this, so I did this morning. I had calendula oil, which is another really, really good skin oil, and the rose hip oil, because it grows all around here. So I wanted to show you, you could be doing this if you happen to grow, not Canadian free right now, I'll bet. So you want to use, yeah, and I'm in the mountains. I couldn't use it right now either. So, so this is your infused oil. So from this, you can just oil your body with it. You could use this and combine it with shea butter or beeswax or cocoa butter, the different butters to make more of a cream. if you wanted to do that. So it's not just an oil, but make more of a lotion with it. And, you know, there are so many places that you can Google recipes for these, but I will include another recipe. But the other thing is, like, for our chefs in here, for our little kitchen witches, if you're growing basil or oregano or rosemary, then you would do the same thing with a cooking oil. So you could do that with your olive oil, or again, your grapeseed oil, or avocado oil. Like if you're, you just let it sit in here for 6 weeks. So again, you put half plant matter, and then you fill it up with oil, the rest, and then you let it sit in a dark place. You don't let it get too much light. And then after 6 weeks, you drain it just like we did, and then you can use that for your cooking. So you would have an herb infused oil for your cooking. One of the things you want to make sure that you do is that the oil covers all the plant matter, and then you can just whoops, wrong lid. Oh. And then you can just cap it. And you have that. Now for myself, since I'm also a massage therapist, I will put this in a small bottle that has a pump, so that when I'm doing massages, I can have a chamomile infused oil if I feel like that person needs something in particular, promoting sleep, anti-inflammatory. One of the things that we did, I might have mentioned it, but we've seen just incredible healing. My partner works for Caltrans, and accidentally a plow dropped on his toe a couple of weeks ago. So we were putting calendula oil on it to increase the circulation so that the blood could move there, so there would be more healing. And then from that, then I made a comfrey infused oil. And comfrey, another word for comfrey, is knitbone. So it literally healed his bone. So they thought it would possibly be an amputation, and now it's literally 6 weeks later, he's just got a tiny scab and everything's going back. And it's amazing what herbal medicine can do for you. And the more that you are conscious when you harvest your plant, especially if it's something that grows in your backyard, this just adds, and it's playful and it's messy, but you know, when you're done, you just put it on you and no big deal. So one of the person I'm uplifting this month is Crystal, who is here with us, and I have her Joyous Organics. This is her deodorant, and the reason I love, so she has both the roll-on and the do we call it a paste? I'm not sure what we call. So this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like a salve. Let's see, maybe put it down here so it's not getting so much funky light. I don't know, but the reason I love this so much is my sister Megan and I, our mother had breast cancer. And so I want to do preventative care. You know, I mean, you of course can get your testing, but what do you do in between that time? Is you need to have some kind of care routine. So you take like just a tiny little bit like this, and yes, I'm going to show you how you do it. And you put it in your pit. You put it in your pit and you rub it around. And the reason you're rubbing this around is because you're moving all the toxins, because the reason our armpits stink is this is where our lymphatic system is. This is where all the poison and all the free radicals are exiting our body from our armpits, from our growing area. So when you rub this in, you're moving it around. Another way that you can do that is when you're taking a shower and you get the washcloth and you just vigorously rub it in here. And you break up all the dead tissue and you break up all the dead skin and you start moving. That massage, what that does is it breaks up the free radicals and it gets it into the system. And then you can take a gua sha, this is a gua sha, and you can give yourself self-care. We're all supposed to be doing our self-care for our breast health. So this is a gua sha. And it looks like this. It's been around forever. And you just rub in here, and this is how you can self-care. Another one is a dry brush. A dry brush is awesome. And this is how you've been wanting to get one of those. We'll get it, Shyra. So what we do is you do this dry brush here. It flakes off your skin. It moves your circulation. It moves the lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is your automatic system for self-care and for immunity. And so this can be fun. So I don't know if you want to Crystal, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your deodorant and a little bit about Joyous Organics, how you got started, or how the products that you use, you know, your organic stuff. So
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I'm not very good at the Zooms. Yeah. So I started Joyous Organics just out of my own needs, for me and my family and whatnot, and then started, you know, getting into craft fairs and whatnot, and saw that there was actually a good following for it, and people really enjoyed it, and I had repeat customers. And so then I, you know, opened my online store, and I wanted to have I've got 4 young children, and give them the best, you know, nicest high quality ingredients. And so I have my deodorant, which is definitely my best selling item. And then hold on, I just wanted to grab.
It's so good. It works. You know, I know a lot of times.
We've got the stick, which is in a biodegradable paper container. And then we also have the jar. And even in the stick, it's still pretty soft. I use it a lot and rub it on as well. You can, you know, use either or. But yeah, I started off with body butter and rubbing my babies with them out of the bathtub and giving them little massages and getting their circulation and lymphatic and everything moving. And then I stopped wearing deodorant for a long time and decided nothing ever worked, and thought, you know, 5 years ago, I'm going to create my own that's really going to work well. And I passed it out to friends many, many times. And finally there was a census. Oh, this is the one, this is the good one. So continue with it. And yeah, and it's just filled with great organic ingredients, such as, you know, we've got coconut oil, the shea butter, some arrowroot powder, kokum butter, beeswax, and magnesium. And the magnesium is really great. A great way for you to absorb magnesium is actually applying it on your body. A lot of times they have like a magnesium spray you can put on. There's also a magnesium spray deodorant, but yeah, it'll absorb really well in your underarms, and you kind of get your little dose of magnesium because there's quite a bit. And magnesium is an odor deterrent as well. So it works as well as keeping you kind of odor free, and then also the various essential oils that I put in. And I also do have unscented as well. But yeah, it's kind of become a nice little company that I created, and it's sold down south in the Orange County area at Mother's Markets, and there, and some other little boutiques, you know, throughout LA and whatnot. And then also online. But yeah, if you're kind of looking for a good, high quality, good for you, you know, get out of the junky, you know, Secret and Dove, and change over to something that is actually really nourishing for your body. A lot of women state and claim that it's completely eliminated, you know, the razor burn and whatnot. And I know for me too, you know, because it's all these great nourishing ingredients in here that really moisturize your underarms. And it's not sticky. It absorbs well, and it keeps you, you know, nice and smelling good all day.
Yeah, I really love it. And I do, like you said, you have the roll on, but you can use that paste, and that's part of, like, you know, getting us used to, I don't know if anyone ever saw a long time ago, fried green tomatoes, where at one point the woman held up the mirror, now look at all your yonis, and the women were like, no, you know, I'm not going to look down there, you know. And,
right.
And so a lot of times we're kind of uncomfortable with our body and with the odors and whatever that it makes and whatnot, but learning to be very comfortable with it, and learning that natural care, and to not be a big deal, to just move in here and keep everything moving and keeping it all healthy with that self-love and self-care. And like I have jasmine. Megan, you loved lavender. I also have Palo Santo.
I love it. I've tried so many, no, really, I've tried so many organic deodorants, and Jamie got it for Christmas, and then I lost it, and I was so upset. And so it's my favorite, and I've tried so many.
So thank you, Crystal. We just wanted to do that little shout out for you.
Thank you.
And so, and let you know, and the winner, for those who are on Instagram, Thrifty Lady Katie, which I think is our Katie Beavers, she's going to win a little package that Crystal agreed to, is going to put together and send out to her. So, so
Jamie, I think you had a message from Nicole on here about cooking oils.
okay, let's go back to that, because I was going to say, what questions do we have? What is the essential oils that you use? The best. Okay, so we're Nicole, what's your question, girlfriend? Come on, tell me what your question is. You're looking. She's like, I'm
Here it
looking.
is.
Okay. Like,
I
too
can
many
see her.
buttons.
She's
Can
like,
you hear me okay?
here
Or-
somewhere.
I've used cooking oils before that are infused, like you said, with herbs. So do you know what the shelf life would be after, infusion? Sometimes I know when I bought some at like little, restaurants and things, they can get a little icky
Rancid.
down the road. Mhm.
Yes, they all eventually get rancid, because that's
Right.
the thing of is, Linda, you got something going on in there. I feel for you. I can see what's going on in the background there. I'm like, dang. So yes, you usually want to use them within 6 months. That's about the time you can use within a year, but again, because you don't know how long, if you're buying it, you don't know how long it was shelved for before. And they might even have a use by date. But I really like that having those oils when we're cooking, and like I said, the avocado oil is great. Another great thing is for learning more about the chemical part of using what's called solvents and essential oils, because the water is that solvent, the oil is that solvent. That means it's going to extract the compounds that are the chemical compounds that are good for anti-inflammatory or good for sleeping or these kind of things. But a really amazing teacher is, and here I am like promoting 2 people now, but I just watched it last night, so I'm like, oh, I want to share it. Shayna Lipner Grosvenor with Sage Country Herbs now has Sage Country Herbs. They now have a I'll get back to the Elena. The Sage Country Herbs now has a free hour-long demonstration of what I showed you, but also some of the chemicals and the science for those of you who like to look at that, the science. I'll type it in. It's Sage Country Herbs. So it's an hour-long free YouTube presentation. She is a botanist, Shayna Lipner Grosvenor. She's a botanist, so she talks about the chemical constitutions, which of the oils are more stable and which will last longer. So she was mentioning that your seed oils don't have the same stability as some of the nut oils have. So like, in other words, like your like this grapeseed oil, like that I've made right here, like even though that looks like a lot, I'm going to make sure to use that as much as possible, even if it means that I have to give it away, right? Or my sons who just broke their both of them broke their elbows skateboarding. It's a thing. So they broke their elbows skateboarding. So I'm going to send them a calendula oil. So to keep that skin moisture, so that the skin will allow all the blood with the nutrients and the circulation to get to the wound center, and then the comfrey oil to get to their broken bone. The same thing that I did with Joey. I'm going to send the same oils to my kids. So you do want to try to use them in a quick manner, but the part of the reason too is when you use fresh herbs, just like when you get your produce if you get it from the farmer's market or from your own backyard versus Vaughn's, or you notice that it tastes different, right? Well, what it tastes different is that life force. That's what you're tasting, is the life force, and that's what's empowering your medicine and your food, and what makes it taste better is the more life it has. So of course, that life itself is going to eventually disintegrate and make those oils and different things rancid. So what I do with the extra herbs, I squeeze it out and then I just toss it onto the earth, because I just wanted to be able to decompose from there. So anyway, so we will have a posted wrap up, and this recorded. I know for some people had some hard time getting on. I'm not sure how a different Barbara, not this Barbara here, somehow made herself a host. I'm not sure how that happened. So I'll have to check out Zoom and find out what happened. But if anyone has any more questions, we're at the end of our hour. Anything that anyone wants to know about for next week, please let us know either here on our Facebook, We now have Facebook, Hour of Magic. We have our Instagram. If there's anything that you're curious about that you'd like to know more about, whether with astrology or some proactive life strategies or practical magic with herbs and crystals, please let us know and we'd be happy to address some of those with you. So just thank you everybody for coming. And we so appreciate you being here. Have a great day, a great Sunday. Big kisses. And we'll see you all later. Bye. Thank you.